gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, well, I'm back in suburbia here, and I'm in the neighborhood, and one of my neighbors here has a Palo Verde tree, and the Palo Verde little pods on there are at the perfect stage to pick them. Now, they are an edible little bean that you can eat, especially when they're green like that, and they're very tender, and they kind of taste like a green pea. So I'm going to walk over to their house. It's just right here around the corner here, and I'm going to pick some of these pods off the tree here. So here is a beautiful green Palo Verde tree. So on the branches we have all these really nice little pods on here that have these little seeds in there, and I'll show you what those look like. Alright, so here's a pod here, and if you crack these open just like that, oop, I dropped it, inside are these nice little tender little green pea-like seeds, and they taste like peas. Kind of taste like young green peas. They're very tender. So I'm going to collect a bunch of these pods here, and I'm going to peel them, and then I'm going to make something with this. Now, really, it doesn't take very long to start collecting a good amount of these pods here. Now, Palo Verde, maybe not necessarily the first thing you think of when you think of choice edibles, but if you catch them at the right time, they are really tender and really delicious. But the nice thing about suburbia in Arizona is a lot of us, well, most of us, desertscape our yards here. So we have a lot of native plants in our yards, in our neighborhoods. So you don't really have to go far sometimes to go foraging. Foraging in the neighborhood sometimes is really easy and a lot of fun. As well as in the neighborhoods we're here, because of the weather, we grow lots of fun non-native plants like citrus. Everybody has orange trees, lemon trees, grapefruit trees, olives, all things that you've seen me do, and I don't have to go far. I can just go walk down the street and in my own yard or in the neighbor's yard and collect, a bunch of stuff. This, being a native, actually is a Palo Verde tree, so this is everywhere. All right, I'm back in the kitchen with my Palo Verde bean pods here, and now I have to begin the tedious process of shelling all of these little beans out of here. But I thought when I finish, I would do sort of a fun classic French recipe that I'm going to do with these beans. Now, the little beans, once you shell them, they look like little edamames or even green peas. And I thought, since they look like green peas, I would do the French dish petit pois à la Francaise, which is a classic dish of just peas and lettuce, which you kind of stew together. A very simple recipe, lots of butter. But anyway, the first process really here is to shell all these peas, which I'm going to do that next. So there's what our Palo Verde pods look like, and you can kind of shell them sort of like you would fresh peas. If you can get the end of it on here, you can peel it open. Sometimes, if you're lucky, oop, that one just popped right out. You can kind of peel the whole side of it off. See, this one's not cooperating. Just like this, you can kind of separate the whole thing, and then you expose all of those little beans here. And that's the easy way. Sometimes they cooperate, sometimes they don't. But that one had, it's like 4 nice big beans in there. So, like I said, now begins the tedious process of peeling all of these little pods here and see if we can get these beans out of here, and then we'll make our recipe. See, that one worked pretty good too.
This one is not cooperating here. See if we can find a better one. See that one? That one cooperated perfectly, so I'll just pop them right out. Let's try another one. Sometimes if you can get them on the end here and peel it. Oh, look at that. That one, almost. 2 out of 3. Alright, the last one. There it goes. Alright. Look at that.
So we have all of our beans here peeled, and we're going to move forward and finish our dish. We have our peeled Palo Verde beans. I have some pearl onions, some butter lettuce, some butter, a little chicken stock, some green onion that I had laying around, salt and pepper, and a little bit of herb de Provence.
Alright, so I chopped up our onions here. I have our butter lettuce, which I kind of rough chopped here, and now we'll take all this over to the stove. I have my pan going, and the first thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of butter. Start getting that melted, and then to that I'm going to add our green onions and our pearl onions. So we're just looking to lightly saute these here. We're not interested in putting any color on these, just to get the aromas out of the green onion and to warm the pearl onions through. Alright, and then to that I'm going to add our, these are our Palo Verde beans here. Then I'm going to add a little bit of our chicken stock. Alright, so I added a little bit more chicken stock in there because I want these to kind of cook the beans a little bit. Since I didn't blanch them ahead of time, I'm sort of cooking as we go here. Oh, and it has that nice aroma. It just smells like fresh green peas out of the garden. Okay, then now I'm going to add a little bit of salt, some cracked black pepper. Quite a bit of that as usual, because I really like black pepper, especially in this. And really, I'm going to let this water cook down, let some of that moisture evaporate out. We're going to concentrate these flavors in here, and in the meantime, we're going to be cooking our little beans in here. Maybe a little bit of our herb de Provence. You can see quite a bit of that chicken stock is already evaporated out of here. So I'm going to add our lettuce. So this is our chopped up butter lettuce. And start to let that wilt. And then I'm going to add some more of our butter. So a couple more tablespoons of butter in here. And this is going to help to thicken up that little bit of sauce that we have left down on the bottom, a little bit of juice. And we don't really need to cook the lettuce for very long. We still want it to have a little bit of its crispness to it, but we do want to wilt it down some. All right, that looks perfect. I'll turn off the heat and we'll plate this up.
So what are you going to call it? I guess this is my version of maybe a southwestern version of petit pois à la Francaise, small peas in a French style. I guess this would be Palo Verde à la Francaise, I guess. I don't know, but I can't wait to get in here and try it. So let's do that. Go. It's really light. You get that flavor of the Palo Verde beans. You get the flavor of the onion, the butter, the nice textures of the pearl onions and the butter lettuce. That's super tasty, and I'm gonna eat this whole bowl. I mean, it's a classic recipe for a reason. That is so good. Now, not necessarily traditional, but often seen is sometimes you would do petit pois topped with bacon. So I have a little bit of bacon here. I'm going to put a little bit of that on top just for that variation in case you want to try to do it that way. That looks like that. Of course, we know what that's going to taste like, but it'll add another dimension. And that's delicious, as you would expect. It adds that little bit of smokiness. That's really good. I think actually a better version of it would be to use pancetta instead of the bacon, so it wouldn't be, the smokiness wouldn't take over this really delicate dish. That is really tasty. Now, it's really unfortunate that this day and age we have so many of these classic dishes that nobody ever makes anymore, and they're classic for a reason, because really these are recipes that are all about celebrating the flavors of the ingredients. You know, fresh peas right out of the garden, fresh lettuce right out of the garden, with some little bit of butter, and really that's it. Little onion. And I think the Palo Verde beans would be great in any dish where you're really celebrating the flavor of fresh peas, or say even fava beans. Fava beans, any recipe that you would use fava beans for would really be a great way to use the Palo Verde beans. It's surprising how sweet and delicious those Palo Verde beans are. You know, we have Palo Verde trees all over the place here in our landscaping and all that, and you know, and no one ever thinks to eat them. You know, but if you catch them at the right time, if you get those beans while they're fresh and young, the little beans are super soft, super tender, and super sweet. Well, thank you once again for following along with another one of my goofy little recipes here, and I really appreciate that. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe. That always helps us a lot. And we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.
Arlo and I, we hit the open road.